Welcome back, tribe. I have an episode here. I got tagged by Filipina P. She says, why men are giving up on approaching women, the new reality. Let's see.
And did you know that over half of men under 40 haven't even approached a woman in the last year? It seems like men are just avoiding the whole dating scene. But why? Well, everyone has their theories. So I'm going to ask both sexes and see what the problem is. Are men afraid to come up and talk to women? Or are they waiting for women to show interest first? Or maybe they're just done with the whole mess. Do you walk up to a woman and ask her out, like in person?
We are a little bit shy to do something like that.
Okay.
But I think that the woman likes the man who can do something like that because not everybody does something like that.
Oh, okay. But why do you think men are saying it's hard to get a date nowadays?
I think that the men they doesn't have like a really good confidence. So they think that maybe she are going to tell me no.
Okay.
So I rather to don't ask.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I take the risk.
You take the risk. You're a risk taker. Okay.
Yeah.
Do men just walk up to you and ask you out?
That happened before, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're that bold?
Yeah.
What's their opening line?
They're not really original. They kind of like say a lame, cheesy pickup line. Probably the basic one where it's like, did you fall from heaven because you're an angel or something like that. I like that one.
Did you fall for it?
Yeah, I did before.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
unfortunately.
Do you guys ever call you, or is that a
Sometimes, yeah.
thing here? Oh, okay. What do they do?
Yeah.
Like whistle?
Yeah, like I've had a guy like whistle at me. I've had someone bark at me before. That was
Bark?
weird. Like
Bark?
a dog. Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. Yeah, literally, it was so weird.
So what did you do? Did you run?
No, I just looked at him crazy and walked away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think he's mentally stable?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Alrighty.
In Daytona, who knows?
Oh yeah. How do guys usually show interest in you?
If they really like you enough, they'll probably buy you like flowers or food or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Or sing to you. That's pretty cool.
Sing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing in the Philippines. We still sing parts of it, like
Yeah.
serenading.
Yeah.
Do people still do that here?
I mean, I have a friend, her boyfriend sings to her all the time. So, I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Aw, that is
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think in this day and age, is it easy to find the right person like your... No?
I wouldn't say so, no.
How so? There's like social media. It's easy
Oh,
to...
yeah. Well, I think, honestly, social media has kind of ruined, like, dating
Yeah.
because you're so, like, obsessed with, like, what other people are doing and, like, what your partner's doing. And you can't really just live in the moment.
Okay. Do you think women stand a chance of finding or marrying the guy that they really want, or they just settle?
I think they settle.
They settle?
Yeah, since it's so hard to date nowadays, I think
That's kind
just
of...
so they can be married.
That's kind of sad. Just
Yeah,
to settle.
I know, a little bit.
Okay. Well, would you settle, or just look for that Mr. Right?
Honestly, I used to want to settle, but now I really want to find the right person. So I'm going to take my time. If it takes...
This whole settling narrative that's like pervasive in mainstream culture. What is settling? It's subjective, period. Settling is just like, this person doesn't have some subjective characteristics that I'm looking for, therefore I feel like I'm getting less. It's not that they're objectively worse, unless you're looking at like a fucking movie star or a top 10% man or something like that. But every day, like, this is an ordinary person, and she could meet an ordinary man, and she could feel like the ordinary man is someone she's settling for, but the guy could have a good job, nice car, no debt, and a great personality, cool hobbies, but it's settling because he might not have like something a millionaire would have. In that sense, it would be considered settling, but that's even delusional to think about. A lot of women in the West, unfortunately, got bought into the whole social media, like, glamour lifestyle. So any man walking around, unless is a multimillionaire or an absolute physical specimen, is considered settling for them. So it's insane. Does no one have the two IQs, the two brain cells, to rub them together and create a coherent thought and self-realization of, oh my God, I'm living in Delulu land. Actually, normal guys are great too. Actually, the average man is doing just fine. He would make a great father. Actually, social media is toxic and making me think that normal men are somehow bad. Nobody thinks that. Everybody's reaching and trying to attain the very top. Congratulations, you're in a harem now.
Takes like 20 years and that's okay.
Okay. Do you guys walk up to a woman and ask them out in person on a date? Is it a normal thing nowadays?
Back in the day, yeah.
Back in the day?
Back in the day. Not. I don't know if that happens anymore. I got a 16-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
He meets he met his girlfriend through Snapchat. It's more consumable. Like you swipe left, you swipe right? That's the way that the world works.
Okay. What about love letters, writing a poem, not that kind of stuff?
I feel that that's kind of gone. The chivalry has gone out of
It's
out
dead?
dating. There's less risk if you're approaching someone online. If you do it in person, you get shut down. The ego takes a hit, and some folks don't like that.
Do guys ever just walk up to you and ask you out?
Yes.
How do guys usually show interest in you?
Physical touch, I think, probably.
Physical touch?
Yeah.
And you're okay with it?
Sometimes, depends who.
Depends on how cute he is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish there was just like back in the old days, like how they're like sweet.
Sweet. Guys aren't sweet anymore?
Well, they're sweet, but like I wish they were just like chivalry or
Okay.
like I wish that was still a thing.
Aw.
Yeah.
We still do write love letters though. We're kind of old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Is that how you want to be pursued?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Love letters? How about
If a guy did that, she would automatically call him a weirdo and be disgusted and go get pumped and dumped, trained by 2-3 Chads and Tyrones. This is the reality, bro. They say one thing, but what really works is completely different. Stop listening. A fish would never give you advice on how to catch a fish. Ask the fisherman. Literally, the world is like turned upside down for dating. What women say they want versus what they respond to, completely different things. You start to act like an asshole. You don't give a fuck about them anymore. You treat them like shit. You put yourself first. You're greedy. You don't give them time. You don't respond. You treat them like second-class citizens. All of a sudden, they're just slobbering over your meat stick. The moment you think a bitch deserves your respect, you put her on equal playing field with you. All of a sudden, you treat her very nice. You become a fucking fan, a slave. A fucking simp. You start getting treated like you're the fucking peasant class and that she's a queen and walks all over you. This is just a reality. Why? You have to understand from their point of view. Every man that they come across wants something from them sexually. Every single guy is trying to shoot his shot most of the time. In an average day, a woman's getting hit on like 10 fucking times if she's out and being social and doing something. Minimum. So what do you do to stand out when everybody's the same boring variation of a nice guy telling her how beautiful she is, pretty her smile is, how great she looks in that dress, and how they can change her life and all this shit? What do? You do the opposite, and it works. That's why sometimes you see these ugly motherfuckers with super hot chicks, is because that guy shot his shot in a complete different manner. He treated her like a normal person. Like average at best. Like she wasn't a special princess walking around breathing magical air. And that made her fall for him. Bro, stop treating them special and treat them normal as fuck, and you'll see.
chopping wood?
Chopping wood?
Yeah, chopping wood.
What is that?
Well, in the Philippines, usually, we cook our food using firewood.
Yeah.
And then as a guy, if they're trying to pursue a girl, he'll show up to their house and chop wood for the family.
Oh.
Or fetch the water because not all of us have running water.
Oh, wow.
And they sometimes do sing.
Sing?
Yeah, like
Wow.
serenading.
Wow, I didn't know that. I've never-
Yeah. In some parts of our country, they still do that, but it was a big thing back in the 80s or before.
Yeah.
What if a guy shows up in your outside of your window and then starts singing, serenading you?
Like if I saw that in a movie, that would be really cute. But if that actually happened to me, I feel like that would give me an ick.
Okay, but what if he's really, really hot though?
I'd probably give him a chance. Then.
Okay, so it depends how hot the guy is.
Yeah, it does.
Duh.
Do men walk up to you and ask you out on a date?
They're just like not as confident as they used to be back in like the 90s.
Right.
Yeah.
So men back then,
Why?
They were just more masculine. Like they were real men back then. I totally value the commitment of a marriage. But I don't think that's a big value anymore to a lot of women.
right. Do you think women are marrying who they want or they just settle?
I think they settle for financial comfort.
Okay.
And they also aren't looking at it like a long-term commitment.
Oh, it's like a startup husband and
Yeah,
then move on to the next
Yeah.
big fish?
Oh, that was just your starter husband. Yeah.
Oh. Do you ask a woman out in person, just like walking right up to her and then ask her out on a date?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
Okay. So do they say yes?
Most times.
Most times?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have like a pickup line or?
No. Usually if I go out, I'm playing at a spot. I'm a musician, so it's a little easy.
Sending flowers. Is that is it a thing here?
I haven't written a love note since high school, so.
Oh, okay. Do men just walk up to you and ask you out?
No.
Do you wish they would?
Some of them, yes. A lot of people say I'm very unapproachable.
Is that true?
I don't think so.
What if the guy's cute? Would you say yes?
Yes, no, 100%.
But what if not?
Then no.
No?
Then no.
So it depends on how hot the guy is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How do you guys show interest in you?
Most of the time, they'll just ask me for my Snapchat. That's
About
usually-
flowers, poems?
I wish, but no.
No?
No.
Guys don't do that here?
No.
Oh, we have it good there in the Philippines.
It's America.
She's in there. Is it still a normal thing for guys nowadays to approach a woman in person to ask the woman on a date?
I think it is. I think it's very normal.
Well, let's say you're asking me on a date. What would you tell me?
You got some beautiful eyes.
Aww.
You look like you Filipino. I probably say, I don't know, it's something. Do this thing in order to get her. It's more of a challenge, which that's what we like. I feel like men like challenges.
Do men just approach you and ask you out on a date?
I would say yeah.
Okay. Is that a normal thing here in America? Are men are just that bold?
Yeah, I think
Oh.
they are.
Okay. How often do you say yes?
I don't think I have.
Why not?
I don't know, not the right setting.
Oh, okay. So where's the right setting though?
That's a good question because I don't know. I just feel like I just felt to know. It's been like at the gym.
Okay. But what about if the guy was cute? Would you say yes?
Maybe.
You see, bro, it all just comes down to are you attractive or not? You're not getting around that shit, period. No matter what they say. Nice personality, he's a sweet, none of that shit matters. Is he hot or not? Because your approach, we already knew this. But I'll give you like 10 reasons right now why the dating market is so shit, period, in the United States. And why men don't approach women anymore like they're saying, period. And we've been repeating this shit, the high divorce rates, the financial risk, okay? It's what are the divorce stats now for the latest year? We already are above 50%. They have to be at 60% now or worse. And 80% of the time, the women are initiating it. And most of those are college-educated women. So the stats are already shit in that function for lifelong partnership. And then you get wrecked when it comes to divorce court. But we'll get into that later. Okay, the financial risk, we already know. Fuck it. The family courts, child support, losing your assets, alimony, and what? Even your retirement. They could take your retirement. That shit's so crazy. Right? Then you have dating apps and hypergamy in general. You hear it here all the time, right in person. If you're hot. If you're not a good looking cat, don't even bother with dating apps. They're shit. Completely waste of time. You will get 0 matches. Then you will get scammed into using the premium services and the super likes and whatever other bullshit they got coming down the pipeline just so you can get a match with like 1 or 2 ogres living in your area. So it's trash in that sense too. There's no point in using it. Okay. Then you have obviously the anti-male narrative and feminism in general, whatever 4th wave, 5th wave, whatever wave we're in. It's super anti-male. Okay. Men are portrayed as oppressors, toxic, disposable. Okay. What's a man good for? We hear it all the time. Or I can do everything, you can do better. That's not true. Men are feeling demonized and unappreciated. That's a fact. And why would you go into a relationship with somebody that views you from a negative light from the get-go just like that? You're the enemy by default. I've always told you guys that there's a weird feeling in the U.S. It's an adversarial nature that men and women have with each other. It's not that we come together to build something. It's we come together individually, and I'm going to see how much I can get out of you versus you get out of me, and whoever is winning that is actually the victor in the relationship. It's a weird power dynamic that you don't have to deal with Anywhere in the world but the West. Then you have unrealistic standards and entitlement. You see it all the time. A chick's DMs are full. She gets hit on by 10 guys, like I told you. They tell her she's beautiful when she's not. You see all these fat, like, ogres on social media that are parading their jelly all around in bikinis and shit like that, and they'll be dead by 35. But people under the comment section, especially women, it's mostly women, will delude them into thinking that they're attractive and tell them shit like, oh my God, you're a boss babe, you're a queen, thick queen. But the moment you tell a chick, hey, you remind me of Lizzo, you look like Lizzo, you're strong and empowered. What? I look nothing like Lizzo. That's the type of shit they'll say. And they expect, the unrealistic standards on that other side of the entitlement is like every guy needs to be 6 foot tall minimum with a 6-pack, 6-inch plus packer, plus 6-pack abs, if I didn't mention that already. And like, what else do you want from a guy? So he has to be perfect while you're a thick queen jingling your jelly, talking about I'm pre-diabetic and got fucking molasses for blood. Miss me with this shit. We're over it already, okay? Then you have the lack of loyalty and the high body counts. Most of these chicks are pumping 100+ bodies, okay? Most of these guys probably got a few, if that, because 40% of dudes haven't had sex in like the last year. 30% are virgins. We know those stats. They're fucking shocking. Okay. And there is no loyalty. We're in hookup culture. We've normalized casual sex. Why would a man commit to a woman that has extensive sexual history and she's known from jumping on dick to dick to dick, right? And then there's the innate fear that men have, especially the dudes that have almost no body counts themselves, no experience sexually, is being compared to past partners or getting cheated on in general because you just don't measure up, bro. So that's part of the other one. And on top of that, do you even know if you end up liking this girl, is the kid going to be yours? Is that going to be your kid because she jumps from dick to dick to dick? What do you have next? Mental health and emotional labor, yeah? When you call marriage emotional labor, just from that framing alone, this is not a marriage-worthy person. And you're expected to be her therapist, to handle her, to provide, to be the emotional fucking tampon, but nothing in return. You can't be vulnerable around them. You can't cry around them or do anything. Not that you would as a man anyway. You're not a fucking bitch. But I'm just saying, shedding a tear because your dog passed away, banned. Can't do that. Opening up and being emotionally vulnerable to your woman, banned, because you're the rock. You're supposed to have shit together. So you got to play all these fucking roles, but they will not reciprocate. Okay. They all demand constant validation for every single thing without any reciprocal behaviors in return. Ridiculous. Okay. Then there's the boss babes who have the career over family mindset. Why would you get with a woman or waste your time on a woman that's obsessed with her work, her job? Nobody gives a shit. If a man is going to get married, it's for legacy. A man will marry a woman because she's going to bear his babies and potentially want to be a stay-at-home wife if he could afford it. That's the ideal scenario, and raise his children while he's out providing and working and being a man and doing the manly shit. That's the situation. So when you have a woman that's going like, I can't wait to work extra hours. I love my job. I love to put in extra work to do this, that, and the other. I want my corner office, and I don't have time for a fan. I don't have time to cook. I don't have time to clean the house. No, you do this. That's a headache. I'm better off alone as a man. I'll do shit myself. I don't fucking need you. That's essentially what a man's thinking. Then you have the Me Too stuff that, why this is a big problem. If you're not hot, you can't even approach a lot of women because you are automatically a creep. And one false allegation today can destroy a man's life. A lot of men that are average or below avoid dating to protect themselves from a career-ending allegation or a social media backlash. Or just think about it like this, dude. You're at work and you tell a chick, don't ever shit where you eat, by the way, but you're at work and you tell the cute new girl that you think she's cute and you might ask her out on a date, and then that shit goes south. You're a fucking creep. HR gets involved. You're fired. You lost your job simply for that. Or you just make a comment over getting some coffee with, about Gina in the office and how hot she looks to somebody, and it's overheard, and then fired. You can't, there's the Mike Pence rule. You guys remember that shit? Like, that dude would not be left alone with any woman. There has to be a third party at all times because of false allegations. Will end your career, everything you ever worked for. And then you have, the lack of appreciation for traditional masculinity. All right. Even the American Psychological Association says traditional masculine strengths were toxic, right? You had like assertiveness, competitiveness, strength, protectiveness, all that stuff. Stoicism was considered Can you imagine that? As if imagine Marcus Aurelius was alive today here. The American Psychological Association is telling him that his mentality is toxic. Can you imagine that shit? What a shit show that we live in. Anything a man does is labeled as toxic, traditional masculine. So on one end, they tell you like they want this strong guy. They want real men. Like she said, where the real men? There's no real men anymore. But then the Psychological Association labels real men as toxic. Society, feminism, and whatever else labels real men as toxic. So where are the real men? Oh yeah, they're toxic. They're not allowed. Makes zero sense. And then you have all the other options that guys are going for today. Think about it. You have three choices. You go your own way, you date abroad, or you stay single. And all of those are like financially dependent and age dependent. So the guys that stay single are the ones that are obviously attraction below average or have no money. So there's no choices for them. Then you have the ones that go their own way because they focus on themselves. Most of those dudes were older anyways, and they already had kids and probably got strung through the ringer of divorce. So they go their own way, as in, I'm not dipping my toe back into that toxic pool because I've already been through it and no more for me. And then obviously it's date abroad, the passport bros, and we know how that's going. Most of the guys going abroad, it depends on your skill level, the amount you've improved yourself spiritually, mentally, physically. Because you go abroad looking like a goofy, you will get treated like a goofy. You go abroad leading with your wallet will get picked apart. You go abroad as a complete man, you've done all the self-work, then you will absolutely enjoy all the fruits of your labor. 10x. Okay, you can get by abroad by being an absolute dorky simp goofy, and you could still get a woman. You might get treated nice, but at the end of the day, you're a target and you're getting picked and extracted from. And that's it. And you don't even know any better, but still better than nothing of the West. So that's why so many men, even unprepared, are going overseas and, doing better than the guys that are left back home, choosing from, obviously the rotten options that they have to choose from. That's essentially what's going on there. I've given it to you in a nutshell. And this is why men are giving up on approaching women. There it is. That's the dating landscape and Western culture and gender values dynamics in the culture war that's happening all in a nutshell. If I missed anything, let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, as usual, boys, take care of yourselves. There is promised land. There's light at the end of the tunnel. If you do what I've been saying to do the entire time. Otherwise, pick one of those three options and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.